Hi there, all my crafty friends. I'm Donna from Mason Creations, etc., and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a beautiful dragonfly mixed media project. We are going to do so many fun things today. You'll be excited to try them all, so make sure you stick around. Have you ever tried embossing? Well, we're going to do it today. So if you're ready, let's make a mess. I'm going to give the wooden base a coat of Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color cotton, which is white. Dixie Belle chalk paint is smooth and creamy and has a beautiful velvety finish. The wooden board, the Dixie Belle paint, and all the products you're going to see me use today came from DecoupageNapkins.com, my wonderful sponsors. I've had so many requests for mixed media projects. Vivian B, Felicia, Heather from South Africa, Susan S from Spokane, Washington, Sheila from Australia, and Kathy G from Florida. This project is for you ladies. Send me a comment and let me know what you think. I'm painting the trim on the top and bottom of the board with Pentart in the color Country Rose. Pentart paints are one of my favorites. I love the coverage it gives you. I'll need a second coat only because I'm painting over bare wood. I painted front and back of this board. I always like for the backs of my projects to look nice too. If you don't wish to see the captions, you have the ability to turn them off. Tap your screen, go into the settings icon in the top right corner, click on captions, then turn off captions. I'm using a sea sponge and some watered down paint that matches with all the colors in this rice paper. I love the way a sea sponge makes the paint go on blotchy. I'm using the color Compact Powder and spraying some water on it to make it a little runny. I'm sponging it in the top right corner and along some of the top of the board. I'm following the colors that are in the rice paper image. I sponged some of the Country Pink in the top left corner and mingled it with the Compact Powder. I'm sponging on Country Blue in the lower right corner and a portion along the bottom. I mingled in some Vintage Green with the blue along the bottom and the lower left corner. I actually mingled in all the colors with each other. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. It's fun to see what cities and countries you are all watching from. I'm filming from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. I'm using the same coordinating colors in the same areas to add some splatters to the board. I'm watering down the paint again. Now I'm dipping a fan brush in the watered down paint and tapping it on my finger. This gives you some really cool splatters. I'm using a fan brush because it gives you a broader coverage. When you do this, make sure you have everything covered with paper or moved out of the way. This splatters paint everywhere. This is mini corrugated cardboard that they sell in the scrapbook area at Hobby Lobby. I cut it to the same size as my rice paper. Now I'm going to paint it white so that cardboard color doesn't show through my rice paper. When decoupaging, always have a light color behind your image, such as white or very light off-white. Dark colors will make your image look muddy. I'm going to use Polyvine Heavy Duty Wood Varnish as my decoupage adhesive today, as well as my final varnish. This formula is heavily water and heat resistant, as well as food safe. All of the Polyvine varnishes can double as a decoupage adhesive, and they perform wonderfully, much better than the popular brand of decoupage glue. Polyvine is not a glue. It's a varnish, so the end results are outstanding. It greatly reduces bubbles and wrinkles and is absolutely crystal clear and won't yellow over time. I sprayed my rice paper with some water. This makes your paper more pliable and easier to work with. I'm brushing on my adhesive in small areas and brushing the paper lightly into all the little grooves of the cardboard. I'm using a smaller, stiffer brush to push it into all those little grooves. DecoupageNapkins.com has such a great selection of napkins that you can purchase one at a time. They carry many other craft supplies such as rice paper, paint, clay, molds, and a great selection of polyvine products. Over 8,000 products and growing. They are wonderful to work with and will send your order out fast. They offer several automatic discounts when checking out. Subscribe to their newsletter by entering your email address and you'll receive 10% off your next order. They are truly your one-stop shop for craft supplies. Make sure you check them out. I'll be leaving links for all the products I use in my description box below. I let the cardboard dry overnight, and now I'm going to tear all the edges and make them look ragged. This is going to look really cool when I'm done with it. I'm going to be embossing a gold edge, so stick around. You'll want to see the unconventional way I do it. If you'd like to be notified anytime I upload a new video, click the bell. Ripping the cardboard dislodged some of the paper, so I went around and revarnished all the edges, as well as giving the entire board another coat. These are embossing powders. I don't want pure gold and I don't want pure silver, so I'm going to mix them 50-50, which will give me a cool gold. It'll look similar to a white gold. It looks pretty dull right now, but wait till you see the magic when you add heat. I test all the products that I recommend in my videos. I won't recommend anything that I haven't used myself and prefer. If I'm recommending it, you can bet it's a great product. Each product will be listed in my description box below and will have a blue link to make it easy for you to find. Any of the links I provide are safe for you to click on. This looks so great now, and the corrugated look is really noticeable. Because of the liquid, the cardboard warped a little bit, but I'm going to bend it back nice and flat. This is metal leaf size, and it's an adhesive for attaching gold leafing. It dries clear and very sticky, so the metal leafing sticks to it. Well, embossing powder also sticks to it. They make stamp pads and pens for use with the embossing powder, which essentially does the same thing. It's sticky, so the embossing powder sticks to it. However, you're very limited on how and where you emboss. This adhesive opens up a lot of doors. I'm brushing it around all the edges of the cardboard. There are some areas where the cardboard ripped unevenly, so I'm making sure to get the adhesive in between all those areas. I'm using a fan brush so it appears swiped and ragged looking. If you're enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And why not share this with a friend? Thanks for doing that. I let the adhesive dry for about 30 minutes until it was clear and sticky. Now I'll sprinkle the embossing powder that I mixed up. Now watch what happens when the powder gets heated up. It turns from a powder to a shiny metallic in just a few seconds. You're going to need a heat gun for this. A blow dryer doesn't get hot enough to melt the embossing powder. Send me a comment and let me know what type of project you would like to see next. Decoupage, mixed media canvases, or more mason jar decorating. Your suggestion could be my very next video. I answer every single comment I receive. I love hearing from all of you and look forward to reading all your comments. Now I'm going to do some stenciling on the board. I'm marking off where the picture is going with some tape. This stencil has French cursive script. It's so elegant and beautiful. I'm going to mix some texture paste with gold and silver paint, just like I did with the embossing powder, to get that white gold effect. I'm spreading the mixture over the stencil with a palette knife. This will give some textured script in the background. But that's not where it ends. As soon as I pull off the stencil, I'm sprinkling it with my embossing powder mixture. At this point, make sure you get your stencil in some water right away. You don't want the texture paste to dry on your stencil. I did the top and bottom of the wooden base as well as both sides. Now I'm going to heat it up. I'm not sure how well you can see this on camera, but the script is starting to get a shimmery metallic look. Make sure you don't touch the embossing until it cools. It's hot and it will still be soft, so it can be damaged easily. Once it cools, you're good to go. I have some great projects coming up in the future weeks. I'm working on a mixed media peacock project, and I've been getting a lot of requests for a ballerina, so that's in the lineup too, as well as some fancy mason jar decorating. You'll want to subscribe so you don't miss any of them. I let the embossing cool for about 15 minutes, and now I'm able to glue the picture to the board. I just love these colors. Hot glue can dry pretty fast, so I did half at a time. Now I'm going to give the whole board a coat of varnish to seal everything I did. Also, I'm going to be doing some antiquing, and I need a glossy surface for that. I'll let it dry for several hours before antiquing. I'm using Pentart antique paste in the color Umber. I'm brushing it in the crevice between the bottom board and the trim pieces, at the top and bottom. This will give it dimension and a little bit of a distressed look. I brush it on and then wipe it off, and it'll stay mostly in just the cracks. I'm going under the cardboard piece around the edges and wiping it just a little bit. This will make the cardboard piece stand out and appear to lift off the background. I always love giving my pieces some depth. Antiquing makes everything appear less flat. Make sure you always give your piece clear varnish and allow it to fully dry before antiquing. This will allow you to wipe off the excess and leave it where you want it. If there is no gloss finish, the antique will grab onto your paint and you won't be able to wipe any of it off. Now I'm swiping all the edges of the boards. Again, this gives some depth and a slightly distressed appearance. Now I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to the edges of the board. I'm using a white gold metallic wax rub. I'm rubbing it on the edges and then giving it a little wipe with a soft cloth to remove any excess. I'm adding some varnish to the background of the wooden panel as an adhesive because I'm going to add some glitz. I'm sure you guys have been waiting for that if you know me. I pre-mixed some glitter in the theme colors for this project, which are gold and silver combination. I'm going to sprinkle that all over the background so it shimmers. These are mica flakes and they are just gorgeous. They come in a lot of colors, but these are just a neutral clear champagne color. They will kind of have a glass-like appearance. I'm going to sprinkle them all over the background to give it some sparkle. Okay, my friends, we're doing a shimmer sparkle extravaganza today. These flowers are a little bit plain compared to the other ones I'm going to use. So I'm adding a little bit of glass bead gel to the edges. Glass bead gel dries as a clear medium that has tiny little glass beads in it that sparkle in the light. I'll let them sit overnight to dry. These gorgeous flowers are Prima by Redesign. They have little shimmery embellishments on them, and the pastel colors are just beautiful. These leaves I got at Hobby Lobby. I've had them in my stash for such a long time. Now to figure out how I want to place them. Okay, I got it. Here we go. I'm placing all the flowers first, and then I'll fill in with the leaves. When planning embellishments, always do in odd numbers, and don't make everything even. To add interest, make sure everything looks very random. Odd numbers and random are more pleasing to the eye. Get crazy. Let things hang over the edge. Look how pretty that glass bead gel is. It looks like dew on the flower. I'm using a Shore Bonder cordless glue gun. I absolutely love this glue gun. It's so nice to work without fighting a cord that's in your way all the time. I have this listed in my favorite tools section in my description box below, in case you want to check it out. Don't forget, all of the wonderful products I'm using today can be found at my favorite place for craft supplies, decoupagenapkins.com, and I'll leave you links in my description box below. I put together a playlist of some other tutorials you may enjoy. Click the picture on the right to be taken directly to that playlist. I'm so happy you were here with me today, and thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you all next week. I'm working on a new project with you in mind. You can subscribe by clicking my picture in the top right corner.